Here with NSU coach Mike McConathy. Coach, regular season finale against Southeastern on Saturday at 3 p.m. Wanted to start with the seniors though. Terrence Reed, Larry Owens have played key roles this season and throughout their careers here. Just some thoughts on their last home game on Saturday.
Well, anytime you have guys in programs for 4 and 5 years, it really makes a lot of difference, and it's pretty special. Especially LT's situation is really unusual because he's a junior college player that came in and ended up getting to be here 4 years, and that's kind of remarkable, to be honest with you. But I think that it's something that, as I always say, maybe this will help explain what I'm trying to say. When we sign young men, it's not for this year or next year, it's for the rest of their life. And then they come here, and that's the one thing that I really think we need to hold on to, that we're going to end up losing with the portal. So these two young men possibly could be some of the last guys that are people that are 4 and 5 years at an institution. And that's really, to me, tragic about where the NCAA men's basketball and all the other sports has gone. Now, I'm sure that people would disagree with that's fine, but I'm kind of a traditionalist, and I look back at that and think about how, wow, I spent 4 great years here at Northwestern State, or 5 great years here at Northwestern State. So it's exciting for them to get the play opportunity. The other thing, Larry is getting to actually play in a senior day. He didn't get to a year ago because of the loss of his dad, and so I think that's pretty special.
Larry's personal growth. He already has a degree in hand. The things that he's done since he's in his 5 years here. I mean, when you see that young man walk out of the door, what goes through your mind just in terms of his growth?
I see a young man that really and truly can do amazing things. He has maximized on everything here. He's gotten a degree. He's leading the band, you might say. Everybody loves Larry. I mean, he's worked on campus. He's got relationships with people. He's had a really, really unique experience here because he knows so many people, because he had a job. He did different things on campus with Mr. Pierce and Miss Angie Payro's office. He did that for several years before that kind of went away because of COVID. And getting out and meeting people, I think that's growth. I think that allows him to be in a position to where one day in a school setting and in a business setting that he will be very successful because of the things he's learned here off the floor and outside the classroom.
Turning now to Southeastern, it feels like in a ball movement respect, these two teams are very similar to probably the two best passing teams in the league. How does that match up from that respect, Joe?
It is a pretty good matchup for us, and they've got advantages, we've got advantages, disadvantages, however you want to say it. But I think that they really shoot the ball extremely well. They're shooting the ball. Some of them shooting at a pretty high clip from the 3-point line, and that really poses problems for us. But on the other hand, we've got some guys that can do some damage inside. And then the great thing about our interior people is if they don't have anything, they'll throw it out to a guy to step in and make a shot. And I think that's a real plus. So it is an interesting matchup. And I was talking about this morning about matchups. A lot of people that generally come to a ball game and watch a game, they don't really look at matchups. They look at Northwestern versus Southeastern, and they try to watch the game. But the irony of how different games are, our matchup with Nichols State is horrible. Our matchup with New Orleans was good. I think our matchup with Southeastern is okay. Corpus Christi is okay. It wasn't very good because Larry didn't play much down there. McNeese matchup is a bad matchup for us. So it's interesting in the fact that we see that because we're in the sport. The people outside of it, you say matchup, what are they talking about? And so it's interesting to see that and look at it and figure out, because some guys play better against better teams. And I'm just hoping this is a good matchup for Northwestern.
Larry had his best offensive game against Southeastern way back at the beginning of conference play. Jalen Hinton, the counterpart, also had a really good game as well. But when you look at this game, obviously this team is shooting free throws a lot better than it did at the beginning of the conference play. You had a 10-point lead on the road. Missed free throws were
6 for 17 in the second half.
When you look at some of those things, what comes to mind?
Well, I mean, those are the intangibles of a game that you got to make sure you do the best you can with. And if you go back and you look at that game, as I watched it yesterday, and I saw how many just kind of crazy plays that we had, where the ball hits the goal and goes straight down, and it's just kind of like somebody's standing there, and then their player comes out of nowhere and gets the ball, and they end up getting a bucket out of it. Things that just didn't make a lot of sense. And those are the kind of plays that are game-winning plays. If you make that play, then you win the game. Or Brian White has a situation over in the corner where we thought the shot clock had gone off. Ended up that they got the ball back when we thought we were getting the ball, and we were ahead at that point. So there's a lot of those game-winning plays that you got to make sure are going back and finding that long rebound when the ball's been shot and it's bounced out long, or just missing a defensive assignment late in the game with Okafor. We missed a defensive assignment that really broke her back. So those are the kind of things, again, that sports information people, basketball coaches watch, that maybe sometimes fans don't really see those winning plays.
And then, we talk about momentum all the time and building to March and building for this tournament, getting the Saturday win against UNO. Obviously, you got one more against Southeastern, a team that still has title hopes itself. How do you feel like the momentum could be starting to build toward Katy next week?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt you want to play your best basketball in March, and we'll be in March. Of course, this weekend was huge to get the win, to move forward into this weekend. I just think that it's important to play your best basketball, put yourself in the best position to where you can get on a run in that tournament. And, we've had times when we won going in the tournament. We've had times when we've lost going in the tournament. And, it just depends. But we're just hopeful that we can put our best foot forward and, play together. Our kids really believe in one another, and we really believe in our young men as a team, and think that they can do great things every night they walk out there.
Coach Mike McConathy, thank you very much.